Hello friends. Now the next topic in closed loop configurations of op-amp is voltage shunt feedback amplifier. Here I'll repeat it again. The first word is output and second word is input. Remember, when you have shunt on input side, that stands for current, and when you have shunt on output side, that stands for voltage. You can refer feedback amplifiers for this type of nomenclature. I have explained this in very detail in feedback amplifiers, so you can see my videos on feedback amplifiers. So just a review of that. The first word in voltage shunt feedback topology, the first word indicates output. So output of the amplifier is out voltage. Second word, that is shunt, stands for current on input side. So shunt on input side is current, shunt on output side is voltage, series on input side is voltage, series on output side is current. So this is the how we identify the signals at input and output side of an amplifier in feedback amplifiers, in fact. So voltage shunt feedback configuration is nothing but this configuration. This is inverting configuration. How it is inverting configuration? I am applying input signal to the negative terminal and feedback is also given at negative terminal. So we have negative feedback and input signal is also applied at inverting terminal. The non-inverting terminal is connected to ground. Fine. So this type of amplifier, which is nothing but inverting amplifier, is nothing but voltage shunt feedback amplifier. In voltage shunt feedback amplifier, remember, when you talk about input as current, input is current here. In case of shunt, input means current. So here we have the input current I in, right? And there we have a feedback component, feedback current, you can say, that is IF. And this biasing current I bias is 0 here. Fine. So in case of inverting amplifier, we talk about current for shunt configuration on input side. Shunt configuration means current. Fine. But here we will not be talking about current signal as the input. In case of op-amp, we talk about voltages. So we won't be talking about current as input signal, rather we will be talking about voltage as input signal. So the approach of analysis of this voltage shunt feedback configuration will be little bit different in comparison with the voltage shunt configuration of BJT based amplifiers, where we consider current as input instead of voltage as input. So in case of op-amp based amplifier, I will be talking about voltage as input, not the current. But in case of BJT based feedback amplifier, that is voltage shunt feedback amplifier, we consider current as the input, not the voltage. Fine. So this is the basic difference you should be remembering here, right? So now when we have this as the circuit, so I will not be talking about currents, I will be talking about voltages. Fine. So now let us see the feedback voltage, not the current now. Otherwise feedback current was the current in this resistance. So when you talk about feedback voltage, because of output, we will consider this as ground. When input is replaced by ground, the voltage appearing across this resistance will be the feedback voltage, right? And feedback voltage, because of output, when there is no input applied, is nothing but R1 divided by R1 plus RF into V0. That is voltage fed back, and feedback factor is nothing but the ratio of feedback voltage to output voltage, and that is R1 by R1 plus RF. This is the feedback factor for, I repeat, for input signal, which is nothing but voltage. Fine. For voltage at the feedback signal, you can say. Fine. Now, if you consider this as the signal, let us see the output voltage. considering this current is 0 here, when there is no current, so some part of input voltage which reach at the output, this will be plus, this will be minus. So V naught directly reaching at output, or we can say V naught because of the direct component reaching at the output, which is voltage across RF, will be RF by R1 plus RF into V in. This is the component of output. This is not output because I have not taken gain of the amplifier into consideration. I'm seeing as output voltage, which is nothing but voltage across this resistance, considering this to be considering there is no current in this branch. Fine. In that case, the voltage across this is RF by this with negative sign. Fine. So I will say this factor is K. This factor is K. So where K, I will say where K is what? K is nothing but RF by R1 plus RF, and we call this as attenuation factor. We call this as attenuation factor. Fine. So I define a word in case of inverting mode of amplifier, that is what? Attenuation factor. Fine. So we have talked about the feedback factor, we have talked about attenuation factor. So voltage at output is attenuated because of the input voltage reaching directly at output through resistance RF. Fine. So in case of inverting configuration, the closed loop gain is equal to open loop gain divided by 1 plus open loop gain multiplied by beta. That is the general expression of of closed loop gain. And if you talk about this is nothing but ratio of output by input, right? Or I can say the output voltage of this amplifier in terms of input voltage can be written like this. What? That can be written like this V naught into V in. But I have one factor, that was K here. So this is total output voltage. That was the output voltage just because of the resistance RF. So we multiply this by the attenuation factor. This is the expression of output voltage of this amplifier, which consider open loop gain, feedback factor and attenuation factor. So gain of this amplifier with feedback can be written like V naught upon V in, and that is equal to AOL, open loop gain, multiplied by attenuation factor divided by 1 plus AOL into beta. This is important, but remember output voltage of this must be negative. Why negative? Because the input is being applied at inverting terminal. When input is applied at inverting terminal with non-inverting terminal connected to ground, the output voltage is negative. So this has to be negative. So gain of inverting amplifier is negative. So you can rewrite this like this, minus AOL into K divided by 1 plus AOL by beta into beta. And what is beta? Beta is nothing but, that is, you can see, that is R1, that expression R1 by R1 plus RF. Fine. Now I can modify this equation like this. K is what? That is RF divided by R1 plus RF with negative sign outside, divided by 1 by AOL. I have taken this in denominator, plus R1 divided by R1 plus RF. This is the expression of exact gain of inverting amplifier. Now for ideal op-amp, what do we have? For ideal op-amp, the open loop gain of the op-amp is infinity. So when you put infinity here, this becomes 0 because 1 by infinity is 0. So R1 plus RF will be cancelled out. So this gives closed loop gain for ideal op-amp will be minus RF by R1. So that means for ideal op-amp, this is very important. For ideal op-amp, The gain of this, what is this? Voltage shunt feedback configuration, which is also called inverting amplifier. This is inverting amplifier. So gain of inverting amplifier is what? Minus of RF by R1. That is gain of inverting amplifier with ideal op-amp. Fine. So try to remember it. So this is the gain. This is important. You should remember. This is important, you should remember. This is important, you should remember. There can be question on it. There was question from this in GATE exam. Fine. So now let us talk about input and output resistances of inverting configuration. Fine. And input resistance in terms of what? Input resistance of op-amp, that is input resistance with feedback, in terms of input resistance without feedback. So if you talk about input resistance of op-amp without feedback, that is Ri, that is what we assume. Now please see it carefully. See it carefully. In case of operational amplifier, I can transfer this feedback resistance on input side as well as output side. Let us see that. There is a theorem called Miller's theorem. Fine. There is a theorem called Miller's theorem. By using the Miller theorem, I can transfer this resistance on input side as well as on output side like this. You can transfer this feedback resistance on input side as well as output side. What is this? This resistance will be RF by 1 minus 1 by AOL. This is the expression of this resistance which is there on output side. Resistance seen from here is R0. Resistance seen from this side is R0 F. That is output resistance with feedback. Similarly, this resistance is RF by 1 minus AOL. And total resistance seen from this side, total resistance, that includes the total resistance seen by the source will be RIF, that is resistance with feedback. And I assume that the resistance input side is RI, and resistance seen from there here will be something like this. If you remember, that is equivalent circuit of op-amp, AOL into VD. VD is this voltage. Fine. So resistance, this resistance is R0. Fine. So now the input resistance of op-amp with feedback, that is input resistance of not op-amp, input resistance of this circuit where I have transferred this feedback resistance on input side. When it is transferred to input side by using Miller's theorem, that resistance appears to be RF by 1 minus AOL. And when it is transferred on output side, that resistance appeared to be RF by 1 minus 1 by AOL. This theorem, which transfers the feedback resistance on output side as well as input side, is called Miller's theorem. This is known as Miller's theorem. Fine. I have explained that earlier in case of BJT based amplifiers. You can see that. Fine. So now what will be total resistance? This resistance plus this in parallel with this. So total resistance with feedback will be R1 plus RF by 1 minus AOL in parallel with what? Ri. So this is the total input resistance. Fine. Now I can find the total output resistance in terms of RF and this by using the similar concept, but that will be what? This resistance in parallel with this, right? So R0 F will be what? That is R0 in parallel with RF by 1 minus 1 by AOL. But we don't talk about this as such. I will say R0 F is equal to, that will be what? That is R0. Now see what is there on output side? Voltage. Voltage on output side is called shunt, and when it is shunt, the output resistance decreases. So output resistance will be R0 by 1 plus AOL into beta. That is the expression of output resistance we'll be using, although you can use this as well. So this is the expression of output resistance, and this is the expression of input resistance with feedback. So now let us talk about what? That is frequency response and that is frequency response and bandwidth. Fine. The frequency response of inverting amplifier is similar to that of non-inverting amplifier that we have seen. Fine. That is exactly similar. There is no difference. In this case as well, the gain of the amplifier reduces due to negative feedback. Therefore, bandwidth increases because gain bandwidth product remains constant. Fine. So, the closed loop gain of the amplifier with feedback, I repeat, closed loop gain of the amplifier with feedback in case of inverting configuration is similar to that of non-inverting configuration. So, that is AF divided by 1 plus F by F, that is cutoff frequency with feedback under root. That is the expression of closed loop gain of the amplifier. This is gain as a function of frequency. Fine. Now, if you remember, it is like this. This is similar to your non-inverting configuration. If you remember, that was the type of frequency response. So here, this is frequency, this is a closed loop DC gain, and that will be cutoff frequency, and this is gain. Fine, like that. Now, remember, cutoff frequency or bandwidth. Cutoff frequency is same as bandwidth here. The cutoff frequency for closed loop configuration of this, that is inverting amplifier, is given by 1 plus AOL beta multiplied by F naught, that is cutoff frequency without feedback. So the bandwidth or cutoff frequency is same. Remember, this is bandwidth. So bandwidth or cutoff frequency is same for op-amp. That is what I'm trying to say. And therefore, bandwidth with feedback is equal to 1 plus AOL into beta multiplied by bandwidth without feedback. I hope you can understand that. Now, here, there is important point to be considered. We know this is the expression for feedback. Fine. Now, let us see the cutoff frequency of inverting configuration with feedback. That is, cutoff frequency with feedback can be written like this. That is, it AOL into beta. Remember, the cutoff frequency with feedback increases by factor 1 plus AOL beta, but we know the unity gain frequency of the amplifier, or unity gain bandwidth, I will say, that is also called frequency or bandwidth. So unity gain bandwidth is equal to open loop gain multiplied by cutoff frequency with open loop. So F naught is equal to unity gain bandwidth divided by AOL. So you can put the expression of this cutoff frequency with open loop into this equation. You can put it here. Fine. So the cutoff frequency with feedback will be, that is 1 plus AOL into beta multiplied by unity gain bandwidth divided by, that is AOL. But if you remember, the gain with feedback is given by what? K into AOL by 1 plus AOL beta for inverting configuration. So this ratio will be what? AF by K. So the cutoff frequency with feedback will be unity gain bandwidth divided by AF divided by K, or you can write it like this. The cutoff frequency with feedback will be K into unity gain bandwidth divided by gain with feedback. That is one expression which is applicable for inverting amplifier. So there is a factor K introduced in feedback, that is cutoff frequency with feedback. Fine. So This is all about the frequency response of inverting configuration. And there is small topic here, that is the output offset voltage of inverting configuration. The output offset voltage of inverting configuration is exactly similar to that of non-inverting configuration. The output offset voltage for open loop configuration is always equal to saturation voltage. So the output offset voltage of inverting configuration reduces by factor 1 plus beta, just like non-inverting configuration. So the output offset voltage, total output offset voltage is equal to, with feedback, is equal to total output offset voltage without feedback divided by 1 plus AOL beta. And remember, without feedback, output offset voltage is equal to plus minus Vsat divided by 1 plus AOL beta. Why I'm saying? Because when you don't apply any input, because of mismatch of input characteristic or input BJTs or MOSFETs of op-amp, there is some output voltage, and that is saturation voltage because of high gain. So output offset voltage is Vsat in case of open loop configuration of op-amp, and this is the expression of output offset voltage without feedback. Fine. So this is all about the feedback, that is voltage shunt feedback configuration of op-amp. Let us see example on inverting configuration or voltage shunt feedback configuration of op-amp. So we have inverting op-amp shown in the figure, which has an open loop gain of 100. So open loop gain of this op-amp is 100. The closed loop gain we have to find. So we have to find the closed loop gain of this operational amplifier. So we will be applying the concept of feedback here. So beta for this configuration will be R1 by R1 plus R2. So beta for this is R1 by R1 plus R2 is 1 by 11. And closed loop gain for inverting configuration is given by AF equal to open loop gain into K. K is called attenuation factor here, divided by 1 plus AOL beta. And attenuation factor is given by R2 by R1 plus R2, so that is 10 by 11. So by simply putting the values of AOL, beta and K, we find the closed loop gain of the inverting configuration given to you. So answer is minus 9. So B is your correct answer. So this was one question which appeared from inverting configuration. So in next video we will start with the generalized application or general applications of op-amp, but before that we will discuss, that is the concept of virtual ground before proceeding to general linear applications of op-amp. Thank you very much for watching the video.